organization of Palestinian and Arab youth in diaspora, organizing for the full liberation of our homeland, Palestine, and to end Zionist imperialist control wherever it manifests. Glory to the steadfast people's movement across Southern California, organizing against the barbaric federal attacks on our migrant community. Since Trump took office, he has been using deportation as a weapon, a tool to suppress, to make examples of our people, starting with abducting Palestinian students like Mahmoud Khalil and Leka Kurdia in March of this year, to the to the mass student visa revocations, to the full-on ICE raids in Los Angeles that have now extended across the nation. Shame. ICE and DHS have been tools of imperial violence to suppress our people and community from their inception. We must recognize that this aggression is part of the same imperialist system that has waged a genocide in Gaza. Zionism is inextricably connected to the US imperialism, which invades, plunders, and destroys our people's lands and livelihood. Tactics of state violence, mass surveillance, suppression, and racial profiling used by the police and ICE in the US are all learned tactics from exchanges between them and the Israeli occupation forces. Shame. For example, the first AI cameras able to scan retinas to pull up your data were created by an Israeli company, first tested on Palestinians in the West Bank and Gaza before the US signed a contract with that company to implement the same surveillance on our communities and our borders here in the US. ICE also obtained access to Israeli-made spyware that can hack phones and encrypted apps, clearly as a reaction to confront our work against ICE amongst community members, an attempt to quell resistance against ICE proliferating through our communities. These technologies are tested on our people in Palestine, where they are made deadlier and more effective than used against us here in the belly of a beast to crush our resistance. To abandon our role and responsibility now would be to allow this campaign of fear to win. Both here and in Gaza, these technological tools of oppression do not scare us into submission, but galvanize us into organization. The movement we've all built extends across borders and struggles, and the atrocities they've enabled against our people here and in Palestine will have far-reaching consequences, because we will make it so. As we stand alongside our people in Gaza, we are standing with all oppressed peoples all over the world. Our liberation is tied together. The struggle for justice, for human dignity, for sovereignty, whether in Palestine or here in the US or anywhere else, is a shared struggle against colonialism, imperialism, and capitalism. We're asking everyone here to take immediate action. Boycott Home Depot. This corporation has stood by complicit as day laborers, our neighbors, our friends, our family have been kidnapped from their stores and parking lots. Shame! Shame! They've stood by while ICE stages on their property. Shame! Shame! This ask comes from a long history of boycotting for material change. Palestinian civil society called for people in diaspora to isolate Zionism in our communities through a three-pronged approach. The BDS movement. First, bring everyday people into a targeted boycott of companies and products that are in direct support of the occupation. 2, targeting institutions like schools and pensions to divest funds from companies supporting the occupation. And 3, on the governmental level, pushing for the sanctions of sanctioning Israel. The BDS movement gave us in diaspora a clear and tangible way to work towards the isolation of Zionism in our communities and the advancing of the Palestinian liberation movement, instilling a sense of responsibility among the communities in the West who have been disconnected from the liberation movement back home. BDS has proliferated into major narrative and material wins for the Palestine movement, incurring both reputational and financial damage to the Zionist entity from all the way here in the US. Inspired by this strategy, we as the PYM took up the Mask Off Maersk campaign to demand a people's arms embargo because our politicians have done nothing to stop this supply chain of death. Our target, the shipping giant Maersk, has already cut ties with companies operating in illegal Zionist settlements in the West Bank, and there is still more to push for until we see a complete end to the weapons flow through the ports, railways, and streets of our communities. Just as we must intervene in the supply chain of death heading from the US to Palestine, we must intervene as our beloved community members are stripped of their rights and dignity as a result of this fascist nationalist agenda. We will not allow ourselves to support the corporations that benefit from this violence. So it is not just a boycott of Home Depot. This strategic boycott comes from a long history of building power and consciousness through boycott campaigns. Just as we've seen victories with BDS and the People's Armed Embargoes, we can win here too. People power works. Stand with workers, cut ties with Home Depot, and join your local community defense corners at the Home Depots that are near you. We need everybody in this fight working together in order to push ICE out of our communities. ICE thinks that they're organized. Corporations think that they're untouchable. But we have something that they will never have, and that's us, that's numbers, that's power of the people. We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? ICE out of Home Depot now! ICE out of Home Depot now! We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? ICE out of LA now! ICE out of LA now! ICE out of LA now! We organize, we defend, we strike back. And that means amplifying this energy into action. Join us this Saturday, November 29th at LA City Hall at 1 p.m. for our global day of solidarity with the Palestinian people. With the UN voting for a U.S. occupation of Gaza, the Zionist state continuing to violate the ceasefire and escalating its settler violence in the West Bank, we need to show our people that LA, Orange County, and the Inland Empire stand with Palestine. Your voice, your presence, and your solidarity are needed now more than ever. See you all in the streets Saturday, November 29th, 1 p.m.